Greetings and welcome to our 2024 State of the City video presentation. I'm City Manager Mark Roloff. We're in a video format this year so that we can reach more people with our message and also take the opportunity to reach people where they are and be out in the community. Through a recent Palco survey, I've heard what you would like the city to focus on in 2024. We're currently focusing on things that you've mentioned, like streets and infrastructure, affordable housing, and continuing to invest in our green spaces and parks. Oshkosh's progress continues to move forward. 2024 is shaping up to be one of our best years yet. I'm here at the new Lakeshore Park Four Seasons building, where Oshkosh's progress is very evident in a facility that we can all be proud of. We've talked about the city's strategic plan in recent years' State of the City addresses, but behind that plan are guiding principles that affect our everyday operations. Let's take a look at the guiding principles and what they mean for you. Our first guiding principle is accountable. Accountability is a concept that applies to all city departments, preserving the public trust in the knowledge that high standards are maintained. A great example of this is our city clerk's office that conducts elections with integrity. Their office has implemented badger books to improve efficiency at our polling places. They now conduct in-person absentee or early voting at a new location at 19 East Irving Avenue to better serve the public. I encourage you to stop by 19th East Irving if you're going to be doing some early voting. Our next guiding principle is can-do spirit. In every corner of the city, you will see city staff go the extra mile to do the right thing. An example is our employees look for solutions to problems and will go above and beyond to serve our residents. A sanitation truck driver might bring a refuse cart to the curb because the resident is unable to. Our employees are looking out for our residents in so many ways. The can-do spirit is real, and we see it working for you. For this reason, we're proud to present Employee Recognition Awards to employees that go the extra mile to serve the public. Economical. Staff from finance and across the organization are always looking for ways to cut costs and save money for you, the taxpayer. A few years back, the City of Oshkosh, Winnebago County, and the Oshkosh Area School District collaborated to form an employee healthcare clinic known as the Three Waves Clinic. Although we can't speak for the other entities, since that time, the City of Oshkosh has experienced healthcare cost increases below the industry average, including a couple years we were able to actually reduce our overall health insurance costs. While healthcare costs have continued to rise overall, we attribute much of our success in containing those costs to the clinic itself. The clinic usage has steadily grown over the years, allowing us to add services, which in turn allow us to provide healthcare services to employees at a reduced cost for the city. By operating this clinic in this partnership for so many years, the city has been able to save over $1 million over the 8 years of its operation. Engaging. Our efforts towards citizen engagement continue to increase in a variety of ways and involve a range of departments. As an example, our own Oshkosh Media shares information with citizens through public information sessions and Facebook Live question and answer sessions, in addition to other methods of outreach. Oshkosh Media has also received numerous state and national awards for their work over the course of the time since they began operations in 1987. Equitable. The city has limited resources and has to be judicious in the use of all of its resources. For example, the City of Oshkosh has changed the way the city special assesses residents for road and sidewalk reconstruction projects. Instead of residents being impacted with a major expense for the work, the costs are now apportioned more equitably among the residents through a vehicle registration fee and a slight increase in utility fees. Inclusive. Inclusivity is a concept that the city encourages and reaches out to inspire a welcoming community. The city promotes a positive community environment of equity and inclusion through promotion or hosting of a variety of cultural events in Oshkosh. We invite you to visit the City of Oshkosh Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Facebook page for community events and happenings. Innovative. City staff have been recognized both regionally and nationally for developing innovative ways to solve problems. A great example of this is the Oshkosh Fire Department recognized that most of their calls were due to seniors having falls in their own homes. The department has worked to develop creative solutions for fall prevention, working with a range of community partners. Most recently, the fire department launched the Nimble smartphone app to help adults age 60 and over to stay more active. The fire department has also partnered with the Oshkosh Senior Center for falls prevention and falls assessment equipment for our residents. Responsive. Oftentimes, residents' requests for services can't wait. Staff take pride in being able to answer those requests in a timely manner. An example of this is our team of employees from our water distribution division that responds quickly to water main breaks, whether they happen on the hottest day of the summer or the coldest day of the winter. We never know when they will happen, but the water distribution crew is ready at all times to make the repairs, weekends and holidays included. Transparent. Oshkosh has a long-standing reputation for transparency in providing information to the residents. For example, all departments regularly share information with residents about their operations and new programs and initiatives. We're present at public events. We post a wide variety of public information on the city's website, including meeting agendas, city financial records, construction updates, newsletters, and much more. The city is also active on social media, posting regular updates for residents. The city recognizes that communication with residents is important and is continuously working to improve this. Which brings all of this to something about our Employee of the Year. I want to take a moment to recognize this year's Employee of the Year. This employee embodies so many of these guiding principles. In August of 2023, the Oshkosh Fire Department was informed that the fire alarm system at a local hotel was not functioning properly. The system could not be repaired until the following day, so the decision was made to allow the hotel to remain occupied as long as individual smoke alarms were installed throughout the building, along with a fire watch in place. The hotel manager made an attempt to receive approval from the corporate manager to purchase smoke alarms, but was not successful after about 3 hours of phone calls. So the fire department made the decision to supply 54 smoke alarms from the Oshkosh Fire Department's inventory to be installed. Captain Jack Clark stayed on site to assist in the installation of the smoke alarms so the hotel, which was near full capacity at a very busy time for an event in town, could remain open. This dedication to service allowed the hotel to remain open while guests were not convenienced and never at risk. We want to recognize Captain Jack Clark as our Employee of the Year for his efforts and dedication. Now that we've talked about our guiding principles and recognized our Employee of the Year, it's time to talk about what we want to accomplish in 2024. Let's start with our capital improvements program. Our capital improvements are critical for the future of our city's infrastructure, and we have several projects coming on in 2024. And those include the reconstruction of Wagoo Avenue from North Main Street to Mill Street. We're stopping at Mill Street instead of Bowen Street because the Bowen Street project plan for 2026-2027 will pick up that last portion of Wagoo Avenue. Just a reminder, the average special assessment cost for road paving and sidewalk would have been over $7,900 per property, and that would range as high as $22,800 if our new system paying for special assessments hadn't been put in place by the Common Council. Another project that we're working on is the reconstruction of 5th and 7th Avenues from Iowa Street to Michigan Street from 5th to 7th, and storm sewer replacement on Iowa Street from 5th Avenue to 7th Avenue. Please note that the storm sewer in Iowa Street and 7th Avenue is a very large box culvert that encloses the former Stringham Creek. This is the storm sewer that takes flow from South Park and is the second phase of a storm sewer project to reduce flooding in that vicinity around 9th and Ohio. We have a few more years of work to get all the way back to South Park, but we're continuing to make progress. Another project is Cherry Street reconstruction from Irving Avenue to New York Avenue. The replacement of water main on Prospect Avenue from Elmwood to Cherry Street will also be completed in conjunction with the Cherry Street reconstruction. and this is just north of the university area, and this project is very much in need. Another project is Grand Street from Parkway to Irving, and it'll be reconstructed this year as well. With the completion of the dry storm sewer pond detention basin along the west side of the railroad tracks in that area, we can now get storm sewer and street reconstructed so that it'll be connected to that pond. Speaking of ponds, the Rural 2 Basin, which is out there by Clairville Road, just south of 20th Avenue, will be reconstructed for additional stormwater flooding relief for the Sawyer Creek watershed, which is actually the largest watershed that we have in the city of Oshkosh. The more that stormwater can be held back before it enters the city, the less flooding we will have. Our water filtration plant Clearwells project continues. Work on the final designs proceeding, and it will come forward for approval along with the landscaping. This project will impact our water rates, but it's necessary maintenance for our facilities because this clear well is well over 100 years old and we're being required by the DNR to get it replaced. So you'll hear more about that in the coming year as the design features start to become clearer. Our public infrastructure includes our city facilities, and we have several projects going on in 2024 that I want to tell you about. Starting here, I want to welcome you to the Oshkosh Public Museum, where they're celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. Watch for a series of special exhibitions and activities at the museum to celebrate OPM 100. Not all facilities last for 100 years, and the council has approved several maintenance projects on our city facilities, making facilities a priority. In the long term, we're looking at over $60 million investments in our facilities. The Oshkosh Public Museum Waldwick Gallery project is a new multi-purpose space that will serve as a changing exhibit gallery and programming space utilizing its new loading door that's right behind me. In this location, the museum will be able to host larger traveling exhibitions and install its own changing exhibits while also giving space for public events and programs. The 2021 City of Oshkosh Facility Condition Assessment Report and the 2022 Oshkosh Fire Department Facility Report recommended the renovation of the former Sawyer Storage Complex on Sawyer Street for a new fire training center and emergency operations center. As part of this project, we are going to construct a new storage facility for the Oshkosh Police Department at another location. The design is expected to be completed in 2024 for the fire training facility and construction to begin in 2025. All of the equipment and furnishings within the Police Department's Evidence Control Center, Evidence Packaging Room, and Evidence Lab are original to the safety building when it was constructed in 1978. The PD is seeking to renovate and replace the equipment and furnishings in these areas to include new cabinets, countertops, storage, lockers, cages, and an air purification system and more. We have some roof replacements and heating and air conditioning replacement projects that are critical for our facilities. Roof replacements will be done at the Oshkosh Public Library and the Menominee Park Kiwanis Shelter. Heating and air conditioning replacements will be coming to the Oshkosh Public Safety Building and the Oshkosh Senior Center North Building this year. The Grand Opera House wheelchair lift in the lobby was installed back in 1986. The unit is operational, but replacement parts are very hard to find. The unit is the only way for wheelchairs to be raised from the lobby to the hall level. The city is committed to working with the Grand Opera House in the fundraising efforts they're initiating to expand and renovate both the administrative and production area of their facilities in the coming years. Please be on the lookout for that. Meanwhile, the Parks Department is nearing completion of the new Black Bear and Fox exhibit at the Menominee Park Zoo. The exhibit is expected to be open to the public by early summer of 2024. And the Transportation Division is in the planning process for an addition to the Downtown Transit Center that will include a second platform for boarding and a climate-controlled waiting area with public restrooms. The facility will be built in late 2024 or 2025. In addition to our city projects, there are several noteworthy private development projects going on for 2024. Along the I-41 corridor, specifically in this case along Oshkosh Avenue, is the new True Hotel, which you see in the background here. The True Hotel is one of the many additions along Oshkosh Avenue that has been going on ever since the construction of the Oshkosh Corporation global headquarters a few years ago. In that same corridor, we have restaurants such as Mr. Brew's, Chipotle, and Foodie's Mediterranean Fusion. All of these restaurants add more depth to what people want to see for nightlife and whatnot, so we're very happy to have these areas along the I-41 corridor. In addition to restaurants, there are some banks that are relocating and/or getting a new building. Old National Bank along Keller Avenue and Associated Bank along Westtown Avenue, where a former retail space is being repurposed for the new bank facility. We also have development projects going on in the downtown area. The former Oshkosh Northwestern newspaper building is undergoing renovation, and given the historic nature of that building, I think you're going to see something fantastic coming out of that. Meanwhile, the Oshkosh Riverfront Hotel, which was formerly known as the Best Western, is also undergoing renovation and will be looking for a new hotel flag in the coming year. We're also very fortunate to have received something called a Vibrant Spaces Grant, which is really to help activate our alleys in the downtown area. And additionally, you may have seen some of those downtown utility box wraps, which are kind of boring colors, but now have been added with pictures of historic downtown sites and scenes, and they've been very well received. So much so that some of our neighborhood associations, particularly the Midtown Neighborhood Association on the corner of North Main and New York and Harrison, they're taking one of their utility boxes and getting that spruced up as well. Those are very nice additions for what's otherwise a pretty type of boring thing. We're excited to work with our neighborhood associations on getting those types of things done. On the industrial side, in our Southwest Industrial Park, 4Imprints is putting on another addition over in their area. They've included some solar panels in recent years that help them get off the grid a little bit and is much more sustainable for our community. And I want to thank 4Imprint for taking that initiative. I think it sets an example for many others, including the city of Oshkosh. On the residential side, we have quite a few projects that we're happy to talk about, some that are underway and some that will be underway shortly in 2024. Ripple Avenue, Estates 2, that's on the southeast corner of Oregon Street and West Ripple Road. That'll be a new apartment complex, phase 2 of an existing complex that took place. We added some additional sewer capacity along Oregon Street that enabled us to get these additional phases done, which is going to be very important for future development of the south side of town. Meanwhile, downtown, Commonwealth Apartments, this is property between Jefferson and North Main Street, between Parkway and Irving Avenue. These are properties that were owned by the city's redevelopment authority. And this is going to be a new development with housing and retail space. It is also going to have some child care. So adding that element to the downtown and to a housing project, I think is a great addition that we're all looking forward to. Meanwhile, on the west side, the Sawyer Creek Crossing project on 20th Avenue, just across from the YMCA, has recently been approved by the City Council and the Plan Commission and will be underway shortly. There is also a recent apartment complex on Butamore Drive that was approved by the Council and Plan Commission, and some additional phases are going through the review process as we speak. Meanwhile, back downtown on the south side of the river, the former Miles Kimball building, new apartments and retail space are going to be added there, and we're very excited to see that project getting completed. It's taken a few years, but we're excited that a new owner is going to be completing that project. We also have some great redevelopment projects, some small, some large. Thunderbird Bakery over on Knapp Street is an addition that I think will add a local business, their ability to expand, and we're always excited when we see a local business grow and thrive, and we're excited to have Thunderbird expanding right here in Oshkosh. Meanwhile, Theta Clark is merged with Freighter, and they are proposing a downtown hospital at the corner of 6th and Oregon Street. We're excited about that, and you're going to be hearing about groundbreakings imminently. So we're excited that Theta Care is working on that, and we're looking forward to them having a presence in the downtown, providing a much needed service to downtown and to our entire community. And then part of what we do to make sure private development keeps going is something that we heard from you in our surveys that were done through Pulco. One of the things we heard loud and clear was that the community still wants to see more Riverwalk. And I'm excited to tell you that working on the design for the Pioneer Drive area, the north-south part of Pioneer Drive that's remaining, is going to be undertaken in 2024. Again, you wanted to see more of the Riverwalk so people can enjoy our waterfront and just the ability to walk and bike and run and do all those fun things. Adding that to the downtown area is going to continue, and we're excited about that. We're proud of our progress in Oshkosh, and we have so much more work to do. For example, homelessness in Oshkosh. There is no one single solution, folks. Day by day, Shelter has made great strides this year. Meanwhile, we also continue to work on other housing initiatives, supporting the Tiny Homes Project, for example, and we work with our partners to continue to find solutions. The continuum of care that is needed to solve homelessness requires different solutions along the path to success, and we need to be there at the table for those solutions. We're also pleased to have a new library director. We already have an amazing library with all the programs and services that it offers. We look to build on that success. Meanwhile, we also need to continue to work on initiatives for fiscal assistance. We accomplished a major milestone with state shared revenue reform in 2023. The city is now receiving $1.9 million more each year from the state than we did previously. But there's more to do. We also have to look at the Municipal Services Payment Program, which reimburses the city for the services that we provide to state-owned properties in Oshkosh. The only cities in the state of Wisconsin that have more of these properties than us are Milwaukee and Madison. We are currently underfunded by $2 million annually, with the state currently only funding 40% of the cost of this program. That needs to improve. We're also working to implement the recent housing needs study. Our focus will be on workforce housing, which is one of our greatest needs. And we're also making an ongoing effort to infuse sustainability and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives into city policies and workflow. City staff regularly receive DEI training to help enable them to do that, and we're going to keep doing that. We're also working towards updating our sustainability plan. It's been in place for 5 years and is in need of a refreshment. In addition to these, we will be working on a citywide revaluation this year. The city assessor team ensures that there is equity between property owners with similar types of buildings and provides fair and equitable justification of value. I encourage you to visit the revaluation webpage on the city's website for more details. Our Parks Department is working on updating our comprehensive outdoor recreation plan, which is essentially the master plan for our park system. The plan is important for receiving grant funding from the DNR and other state and federal agencies, and also to ensure we're serving our residents' future needs for park and open space opportunities here in Oshkosh. Residents are invited to provide input through a Pulco survey that's available through March 31st on the city's website. And finally, our Department of Public Works will continue to encourage residents to sign up for the lead service line inspections. These inspections are important for the city to meet state and federal requirements, but more importantly, these inspections are important for the health and safety of our residents, and I encourage you to have these inspections done to protect you and your family. In closing, I want to remind you of the importance of the city's guiding principles and how important they are to the city staff and to the city council, because we truly believe that the best way we can serve you is by adhering to those principles in everything we say and do. I am so optimistic about Oshkosh being a dynamic city. It has a bright outlook, and I think some of the things that we're planning to do in 2024 are a good example of our commitment to making sure that we do have a bright outlook in the future. We're also going to work to better tell our story and let everyone know what local government is doing to serve you. And hopefully, by you hearing those things, you can become ambassadors for the city and tell our great story to other residents and anywhere else you want to talk to somebody about what a great community Oshkosh is. Of course, we encourage citizen participation and engagement, even in disagreement. The boards and commissions that we have need members. They provide great input to the council on so many different policy decisions. Please consider signing up for a board or commission. You can do that on the city website, and in turn the mayor reviews those applications and makes recommendations to council to fill vacancies that come up periodically. So please continue to do that. I want to thank you for taking the time to view State of the City 2024. We have a great future, and it's all thanks to you, the residents of Oshkosh.